this is Douglas Medina from Hughes Network Systems, and we're interviewing today Mr. Zeus Kerravala. And I was wondering if you could tell us about yourself, Zeus, and your firm.
Sure, I'm Zeus Kerravala. I'm the founder and principal analyst at ZK Research. As an analyst, I cover most areas of communications and networking, but I tend to focus on the areas that are in transition. But one of the more interesting areas is the changing WAN, and it's fascinating to me because I'm a former IT professional and a former reseller, and it seems like we've been talking about WAN transformation now for the better part of 2-3 decades, and we're finally starting to see it. So as an analyst, there really wasn't a lot of research to do in the WAN 4, 5, 6 years ago, but today it's one of the more exciting areas in tech.
So I would say that you would believe that IT is in a transition right now and that the network needs to be looked at as more of a strategic tool. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think IT is in a state of transition. I think, in fact, compute transitions have historically led network transitions. So if you think all the way back to the days of the mainframe, right, there really wasn't a network associated with that. But then as we moved out into client-server computing, we built local LANs. Then we moved into branch computing. We had to connect those things with WANs. And then, of course, the era of the internet came, and that allowed us to connect multiple WANs together. And today we sit on the precipice of maybe the most significant change we've ever seen in IT, and that's the shift to cloud and mobile computing. You can throw in Internet of Things and other compute models like that, but I think the key is that every one of these compute models are network centric. And so almost by definition, the network plays a much more important role. So I think historically with older compute models, the network was somewhat of a passive bystander. It was the pipes of a company viewed as a tactical asset. Nobody really knew what was going on with the network. I think today the network really is the ultimate thing that determines the success or failure of some of these new compute models.
And from a WAN architecture data flow, how does the WAN have to adapt to this new cloud readiness?
The WAN needs to evolve significantly to adopt to the cloud. I think the current WAN that's in place was really optimized for client-server computing. And that would be where you have all of your information in one central point, that being the data center, and then anybody that wants to be able to access that information traverses over that WAN connection. That data center then would have, or the core of that network would have a single connection up to the internet, and while not the most efficient model, it worked because most of the traffic went back and forth down those spokes. Today with the cloud, the traffic patterns are completely different. More and more organizations are trying to figure out how to use the network more efficiently. If you apply a traditional legacy WAN model to the cloud, to cloud computing, what happens is you wind up running that internet traffic or cloud traffic over your network several times. And it's known as a tromboning effect, where the same traffic goes up and down the same path a few times. And it's a very, very inefficient way to run a WAN. And I think that taking a look at how I can architect a WAN, have it be more agile, have it be used more efficiently, is really what IT leaders need to think about today. Because you can't, if you layer on this great cloud computing model over top of an inefficient WAN, then your whole cloud computing initiative can suffer performance-wise.